As we saw in a previous video, we can use shortcut keys, the comma and the period, to insert and overwrite media in our timeline. So moving it from the source monitor to the timeline with a keyboard shortcut. But in the previous video, when we did insert or overwrite, I'm going to do overwrite here, the period key, we're placing both the audio and its linked video together at the same time in the timeline. But what if we want just the picture or just the sound, not both parts of our source media? A good example of this is when we're using image for B-roll, for example, and we don't want the audio associated with that. Or maybe we've recorded a clip of video that we just need for the audio. Maybe it's engine sounds or some other room sound or something like that. Can we use keyboard shortcuts to take just video or just audio from the source monitor to the timeline? Sure. The way we did it previously was by marking in and out on our source media and then clicking and dragging on either the movie clip, that's drag video only, or the audio button here, drag audio only, and that would take one or the other of the components of our source media. But we can use keyboard shortcuts in conjunction with a button in the track header area of our timeline. So over here on the left-hand side, the far left-hand side of the timeline area, we have this area called the track header. And there's a bunch of buttons here that we can use to mute or solo tracks, to hide video tracks, to do all kinds of different things. But what I want you to look at right now are these far left buttons, the blue buttons labeled V1 and A1. These are referred to as source patching indicators. And these buttons determine what track your media goes into when you use the insert or overwrite buttons, the shortcuts. But it can also be used to insert only audio or only video. So let's say, for example, you've got your basic backbone of your show done, and now you're just kind of working with B-roll. You just want picture that you're going to insert in various places. You don't want audio. Well, if you disable the audio source patching button, now watch what happens when I do my overwrite edit with the period key. Notice that I only got video, and it put it in the video track that has my video source patching button enabled. What if I want just audio? Well, I would turn on the source patching button for the track in which I want that audio to be placed. Watch now, I'm going to tap the period key again, and notice I get only audio, and it goes into audio track 2 in this case. What if I click audio track 3, put the source patching button on audio track 3, tap the period key, and my audio gets inserted into track 3. So it's not convenient to do this when you're going back and forth, sometimes wanting both audio and video, sometimes wanting only audio, sometimes wanting only video. But if you're kind of in a mode where you're just patching in picture or you're just needing sound for a whole bunch of clips, using the source patching function here in conjunction with your keyboard shortcuts for insert or overwrite can be a huge time saver and improve your efficiency in editing.